The following is a comprehensive review of 10 new features in the Windows 11 22H2 update. The Start menu in Windows 11 allows you to access the various applications installed in your computer, the various settings, as well as navigate to the files and so on. So it's basically a way to access what is available in your computer. So to access the Start menu in Windows 11, notice that now it is centered in the bottom here. This icon here in the bottom left, and that's where the Start menu is in Windows 11. Notice at the very top of the Start menu, you have the Search option, and this is Windows Search. It's also the same function as over here to the right of the Start menu. Right below the Search option, you have the pinned applications. Those are commonly used applications that have either been pinned by Microsoft by default or that you can pin them on your own manually. If you don't want one of these applications pinned in here, you can right-click and choose to unpin it from the Start menu. If you want a particular application to show up in here, let's say we want PowerPoint, you can search for the applications. Once you locate your application, you can right-click and choose to pin it to the Start menu. If we click on the Start menu again, we should have here PowerPoint as one of the options listed in here. Notice I have to navigate to scroll down to access it from here. Now, if we want to move one of those to a different location in the Start menu, in the pinned area, we can select it and then drag it up or down in your list of applications here. To the right of the pinned area, you have the All Apps. This is how you can access all the applications in your computer. So if you click on All Apps, they are categorized alphabetically, and you'll simply scroll down and access any of those applications. These applications here, some of them contain folders. So if we click here on TechSmith, for example, notice that there are various other options within that folder. Further down here, we have also the recommended apps. These are applications that Microsoft is recommending for you to have access directly from the Start menu. These could be various files that you have used or various applications installed in your computer. To remove one of those applications from the recommended list, you can right-click and choose Remove from the list. Further down in the Start menu, we also have the option to log off. This is the account that I'm logged into this computer currently. And if you wanted to switch accounts, you'll click on it and then choose to change account settings or to lock the account or sign out. On the right-hand side, this is where we have the power options. We can choose to put the computer to sleep from here, or we can shut it down or restart the computer. Furthermore, we could customize the Start menu by clicking on this empty space, because notice we have all this empty real estate here in the bottom between the account logged in and the power options. To get to the settings of the Start menu, right-click anywhere where they are in this empty space between the two and choose Start Settings. Now from here, we can select a different view. So if we wanted more icons to show up as more pins to be displayed, by default, it's basically some of the pinned apps and then recommended apps. But if you want more of the pinned apps as part of that real estate, you can choose to more pins. And it will look like this. Notice more of them showing up. Or more recommendations. More recommendations will give you more, it will shrink the space of the pinned apps and it will give you more recommended options down here below. If you do not want to show the recently added apps in the Start menu, you can turn this option off. So notice down here, this is what I had installed recently, these two applications. If you don't want that option, so you can choose off here, and now those will no longer show up in the Start menu. To show the most used apps in the Start menu in Windows, you can select this option, turn this to on, and now If I click on the Start menu, they'll show up in here. Now, this account, I don't use it much. That's why you're not seeing any difference at this point. I use this only for the recordings. You can also choose to hide or show the recently opened items such as File Explorer files. And if you want to turn this off, now notice that the recently opened files that I had from earlier, they'll no longer show up as part of the Start menu. Further down, you can choose to show the various folders as part of the Start menu. So this would be items that you want to be displaying in here between the DL staff and the power options. So we click on here, and then let's say I want to show the settings there. I want to show File Explorer, Documents, Downloads, Music, network settings, or even personal folders. This is new with the latest update from 2022 for Windows 11. It allows you to create personal folders as part of the Start menu. Now, if we go back to the Start menu, notice that down here I have all of these options that I can access the documents, downloads, or whatever I selected to add over here. In this segment of the Windows 11 tutorial, I'll demonstrate how to change the location of the taskbar in Windows 11. In Windows 11, by default, the taskbar is centered at the bottom of the screen. If you want to change this similar to the prior versions of Windows, you can right-click here on the taskbar and select Taskbar Settings. Scroll down under Taskbar Behaviors, and then change the taskbar alignment from center to the left. And then close the taskbar settings, and then you're all set. In this segment of the Windows 11 tutorial, I'll demonstrate how to pin apps to the taskbar in Windows 11. Prior to the 2022 update of Windows 11, it was not easy to pin applications to the taskbar. Now you can pin apps to the taskbar by simply dragging them from the desktop to the taskbar and just letting the mouse go. Let's say I want to pin the Zoom application to the taskbar. I simply can drag it to the taskbar and then let the mouse go, and it'll create a shortcut on the taskbar. Now, one thing that is still interesting is that you cannot add it to the taskbar by right-clicking on an icon on the desktop. So in that case, if you want to add another application to the taskbar, you simply go to the Start menu or locate the application, right-click on it, and choose Pin to Taskbar. Now, to remove an application from the taskbar, you right-click on the icon and then select Unpin from Taskbar. In this session of the Windows 11 tutorial, I'll demonstrate how to use File Explorer in Windows 11. File Explorer is a tool for navigating the files in your computer. To access File Explorer, we click here on File Explorer from the taskbar, and then on the left-hand side, we have the Home option. This is a new option in Windows 11 that contains by default a quick access options such as the desktop, downloads, documents, pictures, and so on, favorites, folders, and items that you have marked as favorites, and then recent files. These would be files that you have been working on recently. Then on the left-hand side, you'll have options such as OneDrive or items that you have marked as favorites or marked for quick access. Then further down, you have desktop, downloads, documents, pictures, and various key folders you may want to access quickly. Further down, we have the options for this PC and network. This PC, this is what lists the storage devices that you have in your computer. By default, every computer has a C drive, and if you have a second hard drive, it will be listed something similar to this. But then if you have a CD-ROM drive in your computer, it would be D drive typically or E drive. And then if you add a flash drive, this is where it'll show up. So basically to access any of those items, you'll need to click on this PC, and then further down, this is where you can navigate the files and folders in your computer. This is a recent update to Windows 11. Notice that there are now tabs that you can open. Instead of opening multiple windows to navigate through your files in your PC, you can now open a new tab very similar to a web browser for navigating the files in your PC. Now, at the very top, if we go to a location, let's say downloads in this computer, notice we have these icons or menu items right below the tab. So if I want to create a new folder, I click on New and then choose Folder and then simply give it a name. Now, to create a new file, I could create it either using Word and then creating it from the application, or I could create the file directly from here as well. So if I click on New Word document, I'm basically giving it a new name from here, and then it will give me the option to double click on it and then open it in Word. And it will save it to the location that I created this file. Once you select an item, notice that the other menu items in the top show up after the item has been selected. So it's very similar to contextual tools in Office applications. To determine as to what these icons stand for, you need to hold the mouse on them and it'll display what the item is. Remember also that to modify any of these files, you can right-click on them and then you have other options as well related to that file. If I want this folder to be listed here under my favorite folders, all you have to do is you right-click on the folder and select Pin this to Quick Access. And notice point it will add it here on the left-hand side. The advantage of the Quick Access is that anytime I'm working in File Explorer, instead of going to Downloads and then selecting my folder, I can click here on the left-hand side and it will take me directly to that folder. Now, to copy a file, I can simply right-click and choose Copy, and then I can go to a different folder where I want to paste it and right-click in that location and then paste it. Obviously, this is a simple concept, but it's to demonstrate the usual functionality in Windows Explorer. Now, to rename this file, I can simply right-click on it and choose Rename, or click over here in the file name and then choose the rename icon. Notice there is also the sorting option here that I can sort them by name or by date. And then there is the view option, whether I want large icons or whether I like a listing of files or also the details for those files. There is also the compact view, the changing of the various views. So if you want to see more files in a compact way, you'd select this option. And you can also select from here whether you want to show the preview pane on the right-hand side. So if I click on this file, it will give me a preview of what that document contains. You can even have checkboxes under View and then Show. This is where you can also select to show hidden items or hidden files in Windows. Further to the right, we have these three dots. This is where you can see additional options, whether you want to select them all, or the properties for this folder, or options for File Explorer. So if we click here on Options, this is where we can configure in the system when you open File Explorer if you wanted to see the Home tab or if you want to go to this PC automatically here in the bottom. This is also where you can define whether you want to open each folder in the same window or in its own window, and whether single click or double click on items to open them. Here is how you can clear the history for privacy reasons in your computer. If for some reason you mess up those settings, you can also restore those defaults by clicking on this button here, Restore Defaults. Under the View area, and this is where we are getting more granular, this is where you can specify additional options, whether you want to show certain items or not, and you can apply this to all the folders. Now, if you make changes in your PC and you want to go back to revert back to the default options, you can always click here on Reset Folders, and that will reset all the settings to the default folder settings As I mentioned earlier, you also have the tabbed browsing here in File Explorer. The advantage of this is that you can navigate to various folders in your PC, and instead of interfacing between various windows, you're just interfacing via the various tabs in your computer here. In this session of the Windows 11 tutorial, I'll go over some of the changes in Windows 11 Task Manager. To get to the Task Manager, we need to click here on the Start menu. We can right-click on it and choose Task Manager, or we can go to the Search menu and simply type Task Manager. We have Processes as the first tab that opens up when you open Task Manager. To the right of it, we have the option to run a new task. Under Processes, it lists all the processes that are running under this user in this PC at this point. By clicking on the name here, you can sort them by title, and you can navigate to the right-hand columns and see the total CPU usage in this PC, how much memory is being used, disk usage, network usage, and so on. Typically, the PC should be running anywhere between 4 and 6% CPU utilization when doing regular tasks most of the time. Now, in my case, I'm recording this video, and notice it's using Camtasia Recorder, and it's using 10% of the CPU just for that. If this application was not the one that you were intending to use, but you're noticing that the CPU is running at high utilization, then you come in here and you can click on it, and then you select the application and then choose to end task. That'll terminate that application that is potentially causing issues in your PC. Now, obviously, I'm not going to end it because I'm using it for recording. If I wanted to end, let's say, the task manager, obviously it'll close this, choose end task, and it'll close just that particular process. One of the new features in the new task manager in Windows 11 is the option for you to specify a process or to define a process to run in efficiency mode. So for example, let's say we have Microsoft Word and we want it to run in efficiency mode. Now for this, you need administrator rights to your PC. So you select Microsoft Word and you then select efficiency mode and then select turn on efficiency mode, and it will run it for only this particular application. For those applications that are running in efficiency mode, notice that it will add this little icon next to it. So the first option on the task manager is the processes that I just covered. The next option on the left is the Performance tab. This gives you an overview of the resources and the utilization of these resources in your computer. So I click here on Performance, and notice I have the processor, the CPU here, the various speed, the details, and the general usage for this particular processor. Notice under Memory, how much memory is being used, and then the disk drives in the PC, the writing speed, and the read speed. Further down, you also have the graphics utilization for your graphics card in your PC. Further down here on the left-hand side, we have the app history and the utilization of these applications. Notice you can delete the usage history. Further down, we have the startup in Windows Startup. So all of these processes are basically running automatically on startup. So let's say I'm not using OneDrive. You can select from here the application on the left-hand side under the name area and then select disable. So this is how you would disable an application from the Windows 11 startup. Click on it, select disable, and now that application will not start up every time you start your PC. Further down, we have the users and all the processes associated with that user. Notice that you have also the options here to disconnect a specific user and also to manage the user account. So this is another way to get to account management in Windows 11. Further down, we have various details. If you wanted to see what an application, whether the status of it, how much memory is being utilized, the architecture, and the name of it, and so on. Further down, we have services. These are the various services that run in the PC. And obviously, you need to be careful here not to turn off specific ones that may be necessary. If one needs to be running but it's not, then this is where you could click on it and then select to start it up here in the top right. On the very bottom left here, we also have the settings for Task Manager. Here you can specify which tab to open automatically when you open Task Manager. By default, it's processes, whether to use a lot of resources, what priority to give to this application, and then whether you want this to always stay on top or whether you want to have it minimized when it's in use and so on when you switch away from this application. This top menu here, the three lines in the very top, it also gives you a more descriptive view of the task manager. In this segment of the updated Windows 11 tutorial from the 2022 update, I'll go over some of the features in Microsoft Edge that were added with this update. I have opened Microsoft Edge, and notice on the right-hand side we have now this new sidebar. In the sidebar you can search with Bing directly from here, and obviously you can search from the top here as well, but this is an option that it doesn't close the existing tab. The Discover option, you can search whether from this site, based on this site, or relevant information similar to this site. Other tools, such as a calculator, the clock, various conversion tools, games, open Microsoft Office, Outlook, and you can add a variety of other applications from here. So for example, if you wanted to always open Gmail, you can simply click on it and it'll add this little icon on the right hand side. Now, furthermore, you can customize the sidebar by clicking here on Settings and then selecting additional options from here. If you do not want to see this sidebar, you can click to hide it. To bring it back, we click here on Settings and then click on Show Sidebar. Another improvement in the 2022 update was the menus. Notice that the menus now are much more visually appealing with the round corners as well. Another enhancement was the addition of collections. And collections are similar to bookmarks, but you're adding screen clippings, articles, websites to a particular collection. So if you click here on collections, you can create new collections by clicking here on Start a New Collection, and you can sort them however you want. So to add this page to one of the collections, you can right-click on the tab and then click on Add the tabs to a specific collection. So you're adding all the tabs that we currently have opened to the tech collection. Another useful function in the updated Microsoft Edge is to automatically save money while you shop. So if we go here to walmart.com and search for the word computer or whatever you want to search for, notice at the top have the option that says this site has coupons. Click on it and it will display current coupon codes that you can utilize from this website. You can copy the coupon and then enter it during the checkout. Other enhancements also include the privacy settings. So if we go here under Settings and go under Privacy, Search and Services, under Balanced has also the option to block the trackers from sites that you haven't visited, content and ads, and it blocks harmful trackers as well. So this is selected by default, and you can even make it stricter than what it is here. Another helpful tool is the Web Select feature, which basically it allows you to select a whole bunch of text. So if I click here on Web Select, you drag the mouse to the section of text that you want to select, and notice it's going to pick all of those text areas. Next, we can paste what we copied from here in another application. Another great feature is also the option to read this page aloud. When we click here,
over 400 free tutorials. Start learning and advance in your career. Free technology training. Access more than 400 free tutorials on the YouTube channel on Microsoft Office 2019.
So the audio it's fairly clear and accurate, and it makes it very easy to read with a natural voice. This, as you noticed, also it highlights and auto scrolls the text to help the learner and those with reading difficulties. Another feature that is very helpful is, and this is new as well, is the web capture feature. The web capture, you can select either the whole page or you can capture a particular area. You select the section that you want to capture, and then you can copy this or mark it up. We're going to bring up the annotation tools similar to this. Another nice feature in the updated Microsoft Edge with the ability to launch a particular website or a tab as a separate app. So if we have this website and we click here on the configuration, then go under apps, then you can click here under install this site as an app. Give it a name, press install, and then it'll pin it to the start, it'll pin it to the taskbar, it can create a desktop shortcut, and it can also auto start it when the device signs in. You click on allow, here this is how it will look, and there will be an icon on the desktop and on the taskbar to launch it. Other helpful tools with this update include also this area here. If you go to settings and choose more tools, you can obviously cast this to a media device. You can even cite this, and this is actually pretty cool. So if we go here to the YouTube channel, you're not sure how to cite this resource. We click on the settings, go to more tools, click on cite this, and it will prompt us to pick what style for citations to utilize, whether it's MLA or APA 7. And then you simply copy this and then put it in your paper as part of the citation. You can pick whether it is a website, you can put the author's name, the date it was published, and the year. You can pick today, and then put some kind of annotation if necessary, and the citation will look like this. Then you'll copy this and put it as part of your citations, as part of your research paper. Other helpful tools here include the math solver. The math solver is basically if you want to use mathematical equations, whether they are on a website where it will allow you to select those math problems, or you can write and it will help you solve those particular math problems. So I hope you found those tools and features helpful in the updated version of Microsoft Edge. In this segment of the Windows 11 tutorial, I'll do a very quick overview of a new application that was added to Windows 11 with the 2022 update. The application is called Clipchamp, and it allows for video editing in Windows 11. So it's a video editor in Windows 11. So to locate Clipchamp, you simply click on the Start window here, and then start typing Clipchamp Video Editor. It would also be available from the All Applications in the Start menu. Click on it. Now, the first thing that you typically need to do is sign in with a Microsoft account. Once you sign in or create an account for Clipchamp, pick whether you're using it for education or for other types of content, or you can skip this. Once you sign in, you have some templates that you can utilize for various platforms, whether it's YouTube or gaming or Instagram or social media. Further down here, you can go to settings and control the various settings, whether it's the connection to the Microsoft account or changing accounts and things of that nature. So to create a new video, you can simply pick one of the templates from here or start from scratch on the top right. You first need to insert the media first, and then you have all these various options and graphics and so on that you can utilize in this case. Add those to the timeline. It will import all the components, and all you have to do is change the content of the current template. Now, to modify the text here, you simply click on each of these areas. So you select the area of text here, and on the right-hand side, you select change the actual text. Then select the next text option and preview it. Then you can change the alignment, change the fonts and other properties for it, the various color options, transforming this into different positions, fading it, filters and colors, and so on. Importing media from MP4 files that you might have in your computer as part of the track here, and manipulating the components that already exist in here. Once you are set with the video itself, click here on Export and then select to export it as an MP4. 1080p is what in most cases you'll use. That's the higher quality. And then you'll select where you want to save this clip. Once it's produced, you can upload it to Google Drive, YouTube, or other platforms, social media platforms, as you see from here. Once the video has been produced, we can click here on Open File, and we'll be able to preview it. At this point, we can save it to our computer or share it to various social media platforms. In this segment of the Windows 11 tutorial, I'll demonstrate how to use the updated sound recorder application in Windows 11. With the 2022 update for Windows 11, the sound recorder application was updated to have a much more visually appealing look and feel to it. To access a sound recorder application, you can go under the Start menu and simply either locate it under the list of applications here or all apps, or simply under the search, select sound recorder. Once located, you click on it. The first time you open it up, it may require an update. And once you open it up, you have these options to simply start recording. On the left-hand side, you have the option to import an existing file. Further down, you have the previous recordings that you may have done in this computer. And you can manage those recordings by right-clicking and then choose to rename them or to delete them if necessary. And then further down, you have the option for the microphone that you want to use for the recordings. And then you are ready to start recording. And in the center area, this is where the WAV file will be displayed. Now on the top right, we can select to share this, and there are also additional settings to customize the sound recorder application. So to record something, we simply press here the record button, and at this point you just keep on talking and the WAV file will be displayed at the center of the screen. Once you're done with the recording, you simply press pause, and you can press space to pause it, or you can press stop to stop the whole recording. Now to preview our recording, we simply press play. At this point, you just keep on talking and the WAV file will be displayed at the center of the screen. Now, unfortunately, you cannot do editing of the audio file from here. It would be nice if we were able to do that. We can change, however, various other settings. For example, here under Settings, you can change the recording format, whether you want it MP3 or other formats, the audio quality recording, and the theme as well for the application. Media Player is another application that was updated with the 2022 update for Windows 11. So if we go here to Applications and search for Media Player, the one called Media Player, you'll notice that it has a completely different visual look and feel to it. So you have your home location here. It's your music library, and you specify a folder where your music is located by simply clicking on Add a Folder. And then the video library as well after having specified the folder. In my case, I had specified the folder for it. You can add a new folder from up here on the top right, and then select wherever your videos are located. Notice you have also the play queue and the playlists for media files. Now on the bottom left here, we also have the settings area, and this is where you can control the music locations and specify what folders. And the same thing for video locations as well. The theme, you can select the system setting or dark mode. and the accent color using system settings or the default color scheme here. For missing album information, you can select so it looks up the album information from online as well. Now for the various videos, we go here to the video library and pick any of these videos. Notice you have the configuration icon here where you can play the video, you can play it next, basically add it to the queue, and also edit this in Clipchamp. Clipchamp is a new video editor that was added with the 2022 update as well to Windows. On the bottom right, here you have also the languages and subtitles. If the video has subtitles, then it will be able to display them during the playtime. And the audio controls, the volume control, full screen option, and you can minimize the player. Then on the far right here, you have the further configuration settings for the Windows Media Player, where you can bring up the equalizer for the sound, the speed, casting it to devices, video settings, rotating it and enhancements and so on, and then skip forward or backwards. Obviously at the center here in the bottom, you have the option to play the actual video. So it's a good enhancement overall compared to what it used to look before. For example, this is the legacy media player. Notepad is another application that was updated with the 2022 release of Windows 11. It just has some simple but good improvements to the Notepad application. So we go here under the Start menu or the search item here, and then search for Notepad. Obviously, it was right there because I had opened it a moment ago. Notice that the look of it has changed. And on the top right here, you also have settings that you can modify, such as the font and the size of the font, including the theme as well. In this quick tutorial, I'll demonstrate how to use the citation tools as part of Microsoft Edge. Microsoft Edge includes a feature that can create a citation, the proper citations for websites or resources that you find on the web. So for example, we have this article here, or blog post, and we go here under Edge in the settings, then we go under More Tools, and then click on Cite This. Click this type of citation, whether it's APA style or MLA, and then we pick the source. In this case, it's a website, and then we have to identify the name of the author for this article. In this case, let's say it's this. You can add additional authors. You can add additional authors if necessary. Then the date when it was published, or whether it was today, and then the website, and you can add an additional annotation if necessary as well. Now at this point, the citation, the full citation would be displayed here on the top, and we can simply copy it and paste it as part of our paper. So this is what you put in text citation, and this will be the full citation at the end of your paper as part of the works cited or bibliography. We want to change it to APA version 7, click on it, you'd cite it this way in text as part of your paper, and then at the end of it, you'd cite it this way. So I hope you found this helpful.